Hey everyone, it's me, the guy who runs this channel. So I've been absent for a week. I had finals at school and I got pretty swamped, and I didn't want to push out any like low effort videos just to fulfill that like, oh, I'm posting once every week type of deal. So sorry for the delay, but I'm good and I'm back. Before we get into talking about this little monster right here, I just want to say a couple things. One of those things being thank you. A few weeks ago I made a video, my Reptile tier list, where I thanked everyone for getting me to 100 subscribers. Thank you for helping me reach 100 subscribers. We're at like 250 now, so that's pretty solid. Thanks again for that. And as long as you keep watching, I'll keep making content. So mega appreciate that. Slinky just shit himself. Nice. I always feel embarrassed making these videos because like my walls are very thin and like my entire family can hear me when I'm like talking, and I just don't like the idea that anyone's like listening to me, so that's something I'm gonna need to get over. But anyway, if you didn't see my video about this guy getting this jeweled Lacerta, you can check it out right over here. It's a pretty cool video. I basically just detail the process of what you do to properly buy a lizard online. But this guy is my jeweled Lacerta. He's a male. His name is Elio. And he's doing super awesome. The first video I posted on my channel was about this guy, and that was, you know, around 2 months ago, so I figured I'd do an update since it's been a while since we talked about Elio. He did show up in my reptile room tour video and my feeding video, and then also my tier list video, so that's basically 3 other videos. So you've probably seen a lot of him if you've been watching my videos, but hey, why not just farm him for free content, am I right? He's a growing boy. He's already grown a fair amount since I brought him home. He shed within his first month here, and that was super great. That it all came off pretty easily. I didn't have to give him much assistance. His skin is fairly thin around his body, and then the scales on his head are super thick, so it's kind of interesting seeing him shed all the different types of scales that decorate his body. His behavior has been pretty interesting. As you can tell, he's really inquisitive. He likes to explore. He likes to walk around and all that kind of stuff. He's super tame also, which is nice. He doesn't bite or anything. He's not too flighty. Jeweled Lacertas are notorious for being kind of flighty lizards and like kind of running all over the place and not being so great with handling. But Elio is definitely contrary to that. He's gone through like a few different phases while I've had him here. When I first got him in the cage, he just wouldn't come out. He would just constantly hide. Since he was always hiding, he was never getting warm, which means he was always cold. He just kind of be staring. Okay, he blinked. Oh, one of his eyelids blinked. You can't really see it, but trust me, it happened. I wouldn't lie. What are we talking about? But anyway, he would constantly hide, so he was always cold, which means he wasn't really in the mood to eat. So like the first week, he didn't really want to eat much, which is fine. That's like pretty normal for getting a new lizard or getting any new reptile, is, you know, because they're acclimating to their surroundings, they tend to go off food and tend to not, you know, show themselves quite as much. But after that week, he was pretty good. Did a decent amount of rearranging to his enclosure just because the feng shui of it didn't flow quite so well with him. Initially, I had a 75 watt basking lamp just right above this flat like slate that I bought at Home Depot for him to bask on, but it wasn't warming up because the bulb was way too far away from it to actually gain any heat. I moved the heat lamp to the center of his tank and had it just directly above some of the branches, but he really didn't want to go up on the branches. So what I ended up doing is, you can actually see this in real time in my reptile room video. I took him out to handle him, and when I put him back, I put him back on the branches, and he just kind of stayed there. I will put him back for now. There he goes. This is the first time I've seen him use his branches, just when I'm putting him back in. With the heat lamp. After I manually put him there, he sort of recognized that as a basking spot, and now he just keeps going to it because I put him there. So as smart as jeweled Lacertas are, and as much as I like to tout their intelligence, he needs a little help, but he's there now, which is good. And then what I ended up doing is I ended up moving his branches purely to the left side of his enclosure so I could create a better gradient. So you have one hot side and one cooler side in case he wants to thermoregulate, and that ended up working out great. He's super active and on the branches on the left side of his enclosure, and then he wants to cool down, he'll go onto the right side of his enclosure. Something that I knew about prior to getting him, but was sort of reinforced while I had him, was just how much space these guys need. Elio is a super active lizard, and he's constantly climbing, and he's constantly running around. To my surprise, he digs way more than I thought he would. There have been times where I could not find him in his enclosure because he was buried so far deep in the eco-earth, but I'd rather have that problem than him not having enough substrate to bury in. Even though it's kind of annoying sometimes, I've kind of gotten used to where he is now. One of his favorite locations, which is pretty similar across the board with basically every single reptile I've had, is he likes to burrow under his water bowl. I have a good idea as to why lizards and snakes like to do this. I think snakes and lizards like to feel really secure. I know Kraki, my ackie monitor, likes to bury under his flat rocks because ackie monitors like to feel super secure in those little locations. So Elio's no different. He's sort of succumbing to that same behavior as well. Jeweled Lacerta is doing pretty great, and it's a lizard that I would honestly recommend to pretty much any reptile keeper. I mean, just look at him, he's so charismatic.
Let me tell you more about how our bond changed.
What a guy. In other news with the rest of the reptile room, I do live in Southern California.
Californians were brain dead.
The weather has been kind of changing. It's the weather here is it's basically like whiplash. Like it'll be like 55 degrees one day and then it'll be like 80 the next. But overall, it has been really dry, which has been kind of tough on a lot of my animals. They're shedding because the humidity has been substantially decreased. We have a humidifier now, so I run that during the night occasionally when it is exceptionally dry so that they can, shed properly. Next update is my ackie monitor. His name is Kraki. If you haven't seen him before, he's in these videos. I've had some issues keeping his humidity up, which means he had a little bit of stuck shed, but I gave a couple soaks and I've been helping him shed a little bit. He also doesn't like being up high so much, so he's a little nervous right now. Isn't that right? Yeah. But anyway, he's had some shedding issues. You can kind of see around his head. He's got some skin coming off there. After rubbing his skin a bit, he's finally getting there, which is pretty solid. Kraki is a very picky eater. When I got him, he would only eat basically like pinhead crickets and wouldn't touch dubias, wouldn't touch mealworms, wouldn't touch almost anything else. Since then, his palate has sort of expanded. He's not quite as picky anymore. When I first started making videos, he was just eating dubias and crickets, but now... Get off the microphone, Slinky, I need that. Yeah, I have a real mic now. See that? It's pretty sweet, huh? Before I just had like a lavalier mic attached to like my hydro flask. So I did an experiment because he wouldn't eat mealworms, right? I left my mealworms out overnight for a few nights and a bunch of them turned into little mealworm cocoons. So they look like this. They're kind of really creepy looking. I don't like looking at them. Then he started eating those. I just interspersed those in with his dubia feedings and he took them just fine. He's eaten a few, so that's like definitely a behavior that we should try to encourage. Right, Kraki? Oh, do you want to go up on the hat? All right, I guess you're going up on the hat. By the way, my dad made this hat. This logo for me. I think it's pretty cool. What do you guys think? Hey buddy, there you go. Good lizard. Excellent lizard. Big bunny baby boy. By the way, if I didn't already say this, thanks a lot for watching my videos. I really enjoy making them, so it really makes me happy when people watch them and like them and leave real nice comments. I super appreciate that. So if you are enjoying this video and you're not subscribed to me like the majority of people that watch the videos, you should probably do that. You should probably subscribe because I have more fun videos coming soon in the future, and fun's like a good thing that you should enjoy, so just do that. Right? I've worked as a salesman as pretty much every job I've had for the past 5 years, and I have a very difficult time selling this channel. Maybe it's because it's actually something I care about and I could, give a shit about mattresses. So next on the update is Nyx, my Mexican black king snake, who is right here in this log. She doesn't want to come out right now. There she is.
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage...
Oh my god, how could you say that? Nyx is a cool snake. I got her in July. The update I have with her is that she's getting enormous. I haven't had a baby snake in a very, very long time, so I was sort of very used to the slow growth that a lot of lizards exhibit, but she's just getting huge. She's like doubled in size since I got her. She went into shed like a couple weeks ago and kind of disappeared for a week, and when she came out, I'm like, oh my god, is this the same snake? Did my snake die and did my mom replace it in the middle of the night with something bigger, which is, by the way, something that was done to me when I had hermit crabs when I was a small child. A little bit traumatized from that, but we don't talk about that. But she's huge. She's big old thick snake. By the way, if you didn't know, reptiles fart, straight up, they just do. And it's loud. There was a TikTok about it. If you have reptiles and you hear farting noises, don't be alarmed, or maybe do be alarmed, because reptile poops, they smell rancid. But anyway, Slinky's the last one we have an update on. He's the same old stupid Timor monitor. If you haven't seen him, you should check out these videos. For those that don't want to check out those videos or just sort of want the TLDR, yeah, he's a wild caught Timor monitor that is missing. You can see him falling off his ledge right now. He's a wild caught monitor that is missing the majority of his toes on his front 2 feet, so it makes climbing for him very difficult. He used to have this cave, right? He would never actually hide inside the cave. He would go behind it. So it was sandwiched against the wall and he would just He would just slip himself right in there. He had a very difficult time getting out, which made feeding infuriating. So I put my foot down. I'm like, all right, Slinky, that's enough. We're not doing that anymore. So I got rid of the hide and I just got a cork round for him and put it in there. And the first day he was in there, he was very much confused and just like where do I go? Like my primary sleeping spot is over. And I felt really bad, but he was playing me. He was manipulating me. He knew that if he played dumb and didn't have a place to hide, that I would probably put his hide back in there. But I didn't break. Maybe I bent a little bit, but I didn't break. So he's been camping out in that new hide, which is cool because he sort of loads himself in there like a cannonball. But anyway, that's about it as far as like all the reptile updates go. I do have more animals. That's just like 4 of the 10 that I have. But if you want to see the rest of them, you can check out these other 2 videos where I go over more in depth, like how I got them, their personalities, what their names are, and how I feed them. If you're enjoying this video, I would highly encourage you to like it. I know you probably don't like cluttering up your liked videos playlist with a bunch of random stuff, but it does really help me out. If you like my content and you enjoy it, it just makes sense to, you know, click the like button, right? I get itchy when I'm uncomfortable, and I always feel uncomfortable begging for likes or asking people to subscribe. I'm out of school for a month, so I'm gonna try to return to weekly posting. No promises, but you know, I'll release content as it comes. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the love on the channel. Let me know what else kind of stuff you want to see, and maybe I'll do it, or maybe I'll just ignore you. Who knows? Thanks again.